If you're viewing and you're here, say hi in the chat. Five viewers? No one wants to say hi in the chat? What's going on? Plot is up for race 1. Pick 5 is in. Hi, Jimbo Matthews. Thank you for always retweeting me and liking my tweets. That is so nice. It's much appreciated. Okay, so it's 10 minutes to the first post. It's a heavy favorite in this race, the number 4, which is a returning horse for Bob Baffert. I wish there was a way I could kind of like keep this up. Maybe I can't. Oh, I know what I can do. It's so slow. Holy shit. Anyways, I'm trying to pull up this 4. Alright. So this horse that's favorite. Hi, Chess Rockwell. Thank you for jumping on the chat, saying hi. So Triple Tap, currently the favorite. It's on the track right now. Debuted back in the spring, back in March. Broke the maiden, as you guys can see up here on the grid. It was impressive. B+, got a perfect trip. Kind of highlighting over. I don't know why it doesn't pop up on the Twitch stream, but it was 1 to 5 that day. It was a 4-horse field. Got a perfect trip, closing gallop. They entered this horse on Derby Day on the undercard, and obviously didn't run in that race. He's fine. I've been watching this horse work. I mean, there's really like nothing that's that exciting about this horse. The problem is there's really like nothing that exciting about this field. So I mean, unfortunately, this horse could win just kind of like by default. I mean, a lot of these horses, as we're looking at the plot, and they're all kind of bunched up in quadrant 1, and they're all circles. And they've been running just kind of like average races at this allowance level. I Stand Taller is actually he's going to step up. I guess that makes sense coming off a strong win. But that was also a win for Doug O'Neill at Santa Anita, where all he did was win at Santa Anita. So how the horses are going to like improve here, we shall see. But that one's going to step up in class. Otherwise, these other horses have been like fine at this level, but nothing great. Vittorio's maybe a little bit interesting. I wanted to get more excited about this horse just watching him work. I think he works fine coming back around. The Sadler horse that's not in the race, I kind of thought that horse, this was a good spot for him, but obviously they didn't think so. Other than that, I mean, the 9's coming back off a layoff. The 9 needs a lot of pace to get the trip. He's certainly capable. And then there's the other Baffert, which is the 11 Sumo. I use this one like reluctantly, only because like I just don't, no matter what, I don't trust the 4. And at a short price, it's a horse that like everybody's gonna have. So the 11, I mean, he's not that great. He's an okay horse. I think the good thing about the 11 is he's a bigger horse and he's drawn outside, and that's probably the best case scenario for this one. Ran a good race in the second start at Los Alamitos, though. Kind of some horses in that field that have been at the maiden special weight level for a while. So, I mean, it was a fine race. You know, again, that's kind of my strategy, is a little bit stabby in this first leg, and then I feel like I have stronger opinions in this sequence. For you guys that are playing this sequence, maybe I can kind of go through it real quick. Because the pick 5 is like the best bet, right? I'm going to just move this over here real quick. Okay, in this race, I used the 1 as an improving type. I used the 3, a little bit of a class edge. The horses that finished 1-2 in the summer stakes are running in the juvenile. Degree of Risk was good. I liked his races at Arlington Park and just kind of improved. Getting blinkers today, but he was wearing cheek pieces in his previous starts, so it's kind of just like a subtle change. Wasn't crazy there. Wasn't crazy there. Bertha Cool definitely used this horse. It was a massive race on debut. Better than looked at for, you can see on the screen. Then had an excuse in the Zuma Beach. Was just far behind horses, just unable to get into the race. So definitely used that one. I used Ready to Perform because there could be enough pace, right? We've got a contention and a high speed rate. Could get the trip from off the pace, similar for the 7, even though the only thing I really don't like is the price. But, you know, that's the way it goes. If the 5 wins here, then I won't care about price so much going forward. In this race, the 6 is the horse that I think is preferred. Sadler has Big Novel, Big Switch. Big Switch ran. This is a B-plus race. I know she only won. It was like a short margin of victory, but just visually, I mean, she gave this field a head start to contact from both sides and just was like so classy to win that race. It's pretty taxing effort, so the fact that she's been off since doesn't bother me in this case. Normally that would bother me a little bit, but I think it's okay in this spot. I mean, this is my single, okay? Because if it's not her, it's anybody. You know, the other Sadler's fine. All right, race 4. Time limit, I think, could have a little bit of a pace edge in here, even though the 3 is clear out here. The 5 is right there. And there's not much going on in quadrant 1, so I leaned a little heavy on the 5. 8 is usable just in terms of class and likes Del Mar. That makes sense. And the 4 is the other one that I think is just a good, like, shorter 5 furlong type sprint. Only a couple minutes. Only one more race, though. That's good. The 10 I thought was usable. The Time to Optics, yeah, no shit is right. The 10 I thought was usable in that race as well. I like the 10 a little bit better than the 9, actually. They come out of that same common race. And then the 5th race here, just think there's the class edge. Joker Boy getting back to State Bred where he's run well. The 11 coming off a B+, and then the 12 who's coming back at the State Bred level, which makes a lot of sense. All right. They're going into the gate. And as Lord Pi 85 knows, we are not showing the races, especially today. That's the way it goes. So I'm assuming at this point everybody has their own screen up watching the races. Two, massive stumble. 4 was off a little bit slow. Stop the race. Looks like they're going to kind of stiff the 2 today. Even the 4 is being ridden along. That horse doesn't look like it has much chance. Four starting to move. Ooh, that second quarter was fast as fuck. Oh, here comes the 4. Well, not very exciting. I would assume everybody's alive in a pick 5 right now. Like, literally everybody. Well, one of my tickets is dead. So, but there's always a second option in this case. It's because I mean, I guess that race is fine, whatever. I think that second quarter certainly helped that horse. 43 is fast. I mean, 21 and change is like pretty consistent with what the horses were doing yesterday, but they were still running like 44, 45. I mean, if we're to assume this is correct timing, of course, which is always questionable. 11 ran well, outside post help. Pace didn't. 5 ran fine off the layoff. 2 started to close late, but that horse just needs a class drop. Was kind of a no push. But maybe that's a sign for Baffert horses that they're gonna run well. My private chat is like, oh, good start. Baffert exacta to start the day. Yeah. Well, there's always the turf races to sort that out. Oh, I guess I'll do these notes. I'll pull up the second race while I'm doing the notes if you guys want to look at optics plot here for the second race. Can you do an hour on breeding? I think I'm going to have to learn to, you guys. I mean, maybe if I want to do like television stuff, apparently that's what they want. Because there's no chance I'm going to go blonde. I have like 17 feet of black hair. Like, that's not going to happen. So maybe talking about pedigree is like my only chance at this point. I don't know. We'll see. Or I can stream on Twitch where I can say whatever I want, like swear and stuff. Wait, what? Thought 5 could win with winners off the pace. What race is he talking about? He must be talking about this race. Only kidding. No, I know you're kidding. I know. Oh, I definitely know you're kidding. Hope the 7 can finally get a decent trip here. Who is the 7? Oh, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I mean, he's had shitty rides, tactic in both those races, and has Frankie Dettori. So let's hope one of the best jockeys of all time can give this horse a decent trip. Only kidding. I don't know, horse race. No, horse race. Yeah, I mean, fuck. If you're talking pedigree on a horse like a claiming horse that's literally been racing for 5 years, has like 1,000 starts, I don't think the race that the dam won is gonna finally jump through today. That seems, I don't know. That's not an angle I've used to success, but maybe that was the angle. Well, the 4 only had 1 start, so I don't know. And we're not going to get any claiming races today, so we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait another day. Maybe Woodbine can offer some of that. Were you with any of those people at the car doctor location on the southwest corner? Can you guys hear the TV feed in the background? Let me know if you can hear it in the chat. Just say like yes or no. I'm guessing you guys can't hear it. Oh, yes, you can. Racetrack Dave. Yes. I've been listening to the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, so that's what's on in the background. And if nobody's chatting, I'll start chatting about that. So let that be a warning to you all. Maybe 3 can upgrade a little bit. Make the 5. NBC Sports is doing a show on how to bet the should be aligning. Please give all the tips. Court TV. I'm actually watching the PBS NewsHour, which is just kind of the live court feed. So, from what I know about like the Twitch stream and like getting busted, this is acceptable. PBS NewsHour. Thoughts on the 9 in this race? This is note. Oh, okay. So in the debut, I just thought this was kind of a setup type trip. The horse broke on top, tracked wide, and then kind of moved inside for that stretch run, and then just had first run. And the pace setter, the horse that was on the lead that looked like it was going to win the race, that horse bled. Like you could see it. Like if you watch the video, the horse's mouth is just like covered in blood. So kind of got like a little bit of a setup there. Ran a fast figure, but sometimes those figures at Golden Gate, they're just fast, and then they have to translate to Southern California, which is not always a given. I mean, we saw that one horse go wire to wire yesterday. That horse, the 5 horse on the turf, that was a turf sprint though. Got the lead all by himself because like 3 horses in that race, a couple of them were supposed to be speed horses, ended up breaking slow. A lot of speed on the mile here in the turf and race 2. It does look that way. It does look that way for sure. Especially on the plot, it's a fire contention, a 60 speed rate. There's more than half the field that are above the par line, and even the 1 and the 4, even though they're in quadrant 3, they're in quadrant 3, so they have positional speed to that first call. 9's probably going to show speed. Probably could be a little bit more quad 1 based. 10, I don't know where that horse is going to be. Break slow, just kind of all over the place. There's some run there on that horse. I mean, steadily improving. I shouldn't knock too much. Maybe 10 could get a trip, I suppose. 8, probably the race flow will help, but Laurel Form doesn't always translate elsewhere. That's kind of the thing to consider on the 8. But there are horses that came out of that race that ran well. One of them at Belmont, and then the 7 we talked about, that horse getting a trip. Pull up this. I guess, I mean, the 1 will probably be on the lead by default. That horse doesn't need the lead. The 3 can track. This horse probably has to go. I mean, this one being second start, tough to know what the running style is. They could change things up. The 5 stretching out in distance, probably going to be closer to the pace. Same thing on the 6. 7's definitely not. Yeah, as far as the 10, I mean, this was like the most competitive race when he was kind of forwardly placed. It was a little bit flow aided here. Gaffleone is getting aboard, so they might be a little bit more aggressive. The 8 is intriguing, not 7 to 5. Yeah. So I don't know who's on the chat, but I did like a seminar. I did a seminar for Donegal for the Breeders' Cup, and they wanted to know about this horse. They think this is a better spot. He was cross-entered in the juvenile turf, and an improving type, or has to. He's an improving type, but he does. Even if you look at the speed figures, I know sometimes it's kind of tough to see on here, but he's gonna have to improve off those numbers to compete in here. There's other horses that are faster, and get a trip from off the pace. So I wasn't negative on this horse to the group. My only negative was that reason right there. I'm like, hey, I don't know why. I didn't see why he would be the morning line favorite, and certainly is pretty short at 7-5. Certainly capable, but that's the knock. That's the knock. I mean, definitely rooting. Donegal people are awesome, so I'm like rooting for them, but that price is really short for a horse that has to improve, has to get a trip, has to transfer farm to California. I would think like 6 to 1 is fair. The 4 looks good, but that's a McCarthy horse. A lot of his horses look good. I don't think this race was that good. Mm-hmm. The 4 could definitely improve here. A couple horses ran well out of that juvenile turf. One with the maiden win, but just looking at speed figures, like the horses running back, I know everybody makes that joke. The name of the 6 is pretty good considering his gelding no balls. Hilarious. Yeah, I think so maybe the 4 is well met here. Oh, that would kind of sting because I didn't use that horse. Probably could have, but I think I had to make decisions. Do you guys think there's a bias over the last couple days on the main track? I don't think so. Any thoughts on the 3 coming out of Woodbine? Decent showing at a grade 1. Yeah, I give 3 a look for sure. The late scratch, the 10 is out. The 3, yeah. So going back to the debut at Arlington Park, I thought that was a strong race. It was a really good effort for that horse. First out, even though it was a 5th place finish, you can see it's a B minus. Showing speed in there. I think the race fell apart late, so I think that was an upgrade race. And then a B plus in that second start, and looked like a horse that could handle more ground. I wrote about him on Woodbine here on the Soaring Free Stakes. That he had a chance to upset. Ran a really good 2nd place finish, considering it was first turf, having to do with the ship, stakes race, all that stuff. And then lost a little bit of focus in the summer stakes. It's a grade 1. These are 1-turn miles. But the horses that finished 1-2 in that race are good. They're going to be the horse that won the race is one of the Appleby horses. That horse is probably going to be the second choice with the stablemate in the race. But the Cassie horse that finished 2nd came back out of that race, broke his maiden, and that's a good horse. That's a horse that has a look. in that juvenile turf. So he has good company lines just as far as class. Probably the class of this field, honestly. Frosty, come here. Come here. Frost is just off in the background. I don't know if I can move my monitor that direction, but you can kind of see him down in the corner. No, he's this way. He's in, no, that corner. 7 looks like a bet. Yeah, I mean, he's being bet down, too. This horse... This horse can definitely compete here. Ran an 85 in the Zuma Beach Stakes with an excuse and can improve, which is pretty much in line with all these other horses. And it's a race faster than the 8. Oh. I missed some evidence. I didn't really like the one, but 30-1 on the horse that might be in front is a bit interesting. Yeah, there's probably gonna be. I mean, it's one of those scenarios too where I think people are looking at it going like, this pace is gonna be super fast. Let's all take back. Like let's let somebody go to the front. That the one on the inside, where I'm not really sure that this horse necessarily is a need the lead type, just kind of watching those first 3 races and then seeing that he just kind of inherited the lead in that maiden win last out. Doesn't necessarily need the lead, but maybe from the rail it has to be there for whatever reason. And is an improving type horse, and has foundation. They debuted here at a route at Del Mar on July 31st. Then ran on the dirt. He didn't handle the dirt, and he was pretty green on debut. So just kind of one of those horses that we haven't really seen the best of the one. And it's definitely, I mean, at 30-1 is kind of like, that's the horse that you'd want to, the type of odds you want to take on a horse that you're projecting still has a forward move. Attorney horse, yeah. I mean, you definitely couldn't. The 8 is not a tourney horse at all. Even if like you were in like maybe the last leg and you like needed the winner, I don't even think I wouldn't play the 8 there.
To 1 on
face, phone, text message, email, any contact of any kind. I do remember he came to me at Car Source at the first location. When you say the first location, is that the one 5800 block? Yes, that's right. Tell us what you remember about him coming to you at that location. It was pretty normal. Just like everybody else, they were talking to a website,
All right, you guys, good luck here. 7 would be good. 1 would be good. 9 is off a little slow. Seven, not a million miles back. A little bit of jockeying around in that first turn. The 1's gonna sit the pocket. See how they thought they were gonna kind of take back like that. The 5 was gonna send. That made sense, but not even necessarily that fast.
Person that used to work as a detailer in White.
7 moving hella early on this course.
So this is August 25th.
But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But that move was like insanely early. Oh, this 4 is gonna win this race. Actually, that horse may have moved a little bit early too. Let's go up the rail. 1 or 3 over the top. 1 or 3. 1 or 3. Come on, 1. Come on, 1. Come on, 1. Okay. Not bad, you guys. Yep. That was an excellent ride. Definitely had a ton of horse in order to kind of get through. I mean, the 4, fuck. That scared the shit out of me.
Did you give anyone permission to be inside any of the buildings on either Car Source location or Cardot location on Tuesday, August 25th? Did you give anyone permission to guard or protect any of those 3 properties?
Pick the wrong Golden Gate shipper. I know all the jockeys are good at the Breeders' Cup, but Ryan Moore on the turf at 30-1 is absurd. Absolutely. Especially when he's got a horse that, like, how good is Moore to make Callahan a horse good? True. I mean, that horse is fucking good, though. I mean, look at these speed figures. Let me sort this shit. Get out of here, chat. Okay. The 4th fastest horse in the race, and then if we're looking at races at a route. Come on, computer. Right to the top. Right to the top. 9 ran well. Who was that, Nick? I thought the 9 ran well. That horse started to run on late and it broke a little bit slow. For this being, the spot that this horse was in. Pretty good run. Seven gets another tactic. It's insane. Agreed. Had some traffic too, but ran well. Only second start. Yeah, and not even just like second start. Like even a horse coming from Golden Gate to Southern California for a second start would be a class test. But like doing it on Breeders' Cup Day is like even more of a class test. $62.60. I think we got robbed by $4, in my opinion. I'm sure is that the chatter on Twitter right now? Oh my god, Ryan Moore on a 30-1 shot. Let's find out. We also gotta not mess around. We're already on race 3. Hell yeah. ITP on demand. Look at this guy. Analysts and wagering experts before the race. Astronomer who? Analysts, wagering experts after the race. How can you not bet Ryan Moore at 30-1? You have to do the voice too. How can you not bet Ryan Moore at 30-1? Exactly. Top class sissy whipper for sure. For sure. Of the Euros, sissy whips like the best of them. The red boarding is crazy. Dude, retweet that or tag me. I should pull it up, maybe. Dettori started his move before Mike Smith. I guess he needs to get warmed up. Yeah, you know, the Delmar turf course, the move is like the timing is totally different. And when they move the rails, it becomes even more different. So typically, like when Dettori started to make that move, at Santa Anita, you'd be like, all right, you can get away with that. That's probably where you wanted to make that move, especially with that horse like kind of in the spot that they were at. I wonder if we can kind of see it here. But at Del Mar, you have to wait. You have to wait because even when I was watching the race, and I'm like, maybe the 4 even moved a little bit early because it's like it's not like at the quarter pole or 3/8 even like when they would want to start to make a move. You have to wait a little bit longer on this course, and then when the rails are out, it's like it could be even longer. The inside could be good too. Because the 1 is inside. I mean, the 5 is going to back up because that horse is a sprinter, so whatever on that. But the 1, obviously one from the inside was in the pocket and safe ground. The 3 is going to go inside out. The 9 was inside for most of the race. The 2 was off the rail. That horse backs up. The 8 was wide and off the rail. That horse goes super wide around the turn. No chance. The 7 with the early wide move. The 9 doesn't change leads. It's kind of a good effort from the 6. No balls. That's kind of a good effort. Because that horse was outside. But all those horses that were outside didn't really do much. Oh no, no head on. We get a commercial for purses. That's cool. They're not even like cool purses. I mean, I guess they're fine. Did you have a rail bias at Santa Anita on October 2nd? The only way to find out. Sorry, I was just looking at what day that was. Well, this horse won with a wide trip. Race 4. Chase Lone with first run. That horse is probably inside. That's not what I wanted to do. Ring lead here. 6. 6, 8, 10. Okay, evens. 18,000 frame drops. Is that bad? Oh, what's happening? Oh, that was a Tayshaun race. Impossible to know. I mean, this is going to be a good example of like when people see a bias. Oh my god, it's so fucking slow. Twitch is like destroying my computer right now. And the fact that I have like 10 different things streaming doesn't help, so come on. Like this is the race that probably where people are like, oh, there's a bias, inside bias. But look at this fraction. This is the opening half mile, right? Slow. So I mean, you get away with the slow pace, even though they came home fast. You're on the inside, especially that it's not contested, because this horse just backed up for no reason. And then I mean Flagstaff and CZ Rocket. It's like Flagstaff was inside, but you could also make the case he's just second best on the day, just because the second best horse in that race when the other horse is low in speed, mostly. And then Pacific Classic, or no, Awesome again, not Pacific Classic. Again, it's just a flow-aided pace. Yeah, these horses are inside, but there's not really much change in running order. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So when there's a rail bias, yeah, when you start seeing that, it's like you're gonna see results that in otherwise you wouldn't have seen with a track profile that's just like carrying like hopeless like 50-to-1 shots. Or those 50-to-1 shots like staying on. And I guess Stiletto Boy was for second, but they rode that race for second because they should have been speed in there. But they weren't speed. They took back and they let Medina Spirit go and literally rode that horse to his career best second place finish. We were in a discussion about that earlier about the track bias yesterday, and I thought the track just doing notes for Del Mar, it wasn't anything yesterday that looked like this is an unusual track for the way that Del Mar typically runs. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. I like looking that stuff up too because sometimes even when I make the notes, I like won't look at it in that like the way that we just went through, and sometimes it can be like, oh shit, yeah, like there was a profile that day, like I missed that. I have to go back through and kind of upgrade. But yeah, I thought yesterday's track was like consistent for the way that Del Mar typically plays. Today the track could be souped up because that first race, even though it was like the 4 closed from off the pace and it was like a fast pace, so it made sense for the horse that was favored to win in that pace scenario. But those were like exceptionally fast fractions. So it could just be that the track is like souped up, which doesn't necessarily mean there's a bias. Just means like it's gonna play. It was a fast time. Yeah, it was a fast time. Like we've seen that like on Churchill, where there's not necessarily like a bias, but like all of a sudden it's just like these horses are running fast. I just tweeted that I'm wearing sweatpants, but I'm really not wearing sweatpants, you guys. I have like a tunic dress on and jeans, but it's for the joke. It makes sense if I'm wearing sweatpants. So we're gonna leave it at that. Any reason to think that the 2 could turn the tables on the 3, having run behind her twice now? Let's look. Oh, I know what I need to do on here. No, what I need to do is this. You know, I think so. I mean, the thing with the 2 that was like really interesting to me, like right from the start, is like Steve Knapp is not one of those trainers that wins a lot first out. So the fact that there's a first time starter from that barn that's going to run in a stakes race, you kind of know this horse can probably run a little bit. Otherwise, they can run last in any race, you know, whatever. And ran well. It was a B- race despite finishing 5th. And then improved in the second start. Has a little bit of an issue getting out of the gate, a little bit slow. Looks great on the track, though, too. As far as the 3, it was a good race on debut. I remember watching this horse work, and I'm like, this horse can run a little bit. Ran a good race on debut. Capable to improve. Did so. Was a second start. Was in that generous portion stakes. Same type of effort. Both these horses, the 2 and the 3, B- races. And then the 3 came back and broke the maiden, but had a favorable trip. With a good speed figure. Espinosa is going to be 6 wide on the turn just by breaking the 2 posts. He does not like to be down inside. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. That is actually priapismic. That is actually a super good point, because when you have a horse like the 2, who you have Espinosa, who doesn't like to be down inside, the 2 tends to break slow. So if they break slow and they take back, and you want to instantly go outside, could easily be 6 wide on the turn. Could easily. Let's see if that plays out. I'm curious, but I like that analysis. Even if it was like a little bit tongue in cheek, like I think you're on to something. I'm going to try the 2 improving. Should love the added distance. Hopefully there's enough pace to set it up. The 2 fits in. Let's go back to the plot. The 2 fits in as good as any of these horses. Speed figures fit in range. No red keywords, right? Not getting favorable trips in any of those races. Improving speed figures. They obviously want to keep running her in stakes races. She can run, so it makes sense. Let's see. 4 has gone backwards in each start. I talked about the 6. If you guys weren't here earlier, I talked about the 6. That this was a strong debut. It was much more dominant than the running line suggests, because she only won by like a length or half a length or something like that. But was like knocked from both sides at the start, and should appreciate added ground as well. The 7 is pretty slow. It's pretty reflected in the odds. The 9 was also excellent on debut. huge race, big effort. So much run, still developing, still green, but kind of looks like a 2-turn turf horse. But just might be one of those that's like talented enough that can get away with it. This is an interesting spot for the 9. I'll be a believer if she wins this race, which wouldn't be too crazy, but I'd be a believer. The 10 is also kind of just not really improving. What do you typically do with it? Oh, I just talked about it. What do you typically do with a horse with a 9 switching the turf first out and now switching the dirt? I mean, it's always like individual cases for horses. Like there was the other horse that was in this race, the 8, who I think is a good horse as well. That was a horse that broke her maiden at Golden Gate and then ran what is it called? Rose Maddox. Ran the Miotti horse is gonna be a play, the 8. Yeah. The thing, so that horse transitioned, but to the turf last out, right? The thing with her was I just didn't like the timing of that, because it seemed like for that second start, that was and off that debut, the way that she ran on debut, it's like, oh, this is a horse that's got some quality and is improving and can pull off an upset in that race. And she came really close to doing it. And so I just didn't like the fact that they kind of we're going to rush back to this spot. Like that other race, the second start, just kind of made sense for her. It's like she's doing really well, came out of the race well. But then this spot, it's like, okay, we're going to do something new. Third start, doing something new, and doing it on short rest, which is a little bit tougher. Do you handicap trainers? Like Miotti was always a 15% trainer, and now he's a top trainer now. So the thing is, I think it's important with trainers that I put more emphasis on recency, and upgrading, downgrading horses that just need that little bit of up or a little bit of down, if that makes sense. So if Miotti is like, you say it's like a top trainer, but has a horse like in this race, like the 7, it's like, well, that horse, no matter how well the barn is going right now, that horse is just so slow. Now, say it's a horse like the 2, right, where you have a lightly raced developing type, is only a couple points off some of the top, upgrade in the fact of the trainer when the trainer is doing well. Okay, they're off. 6 is off slow. That's not good. She did that on debut. 10 is out. Gotcha. We'll pick up this conversation shortly.
If Dominic Black said
the 2 is 6 wide around the turn. Come on, 6, go by. Yay. I shouldn't cheer yet. We're not done. Game's not over. But single home ski. Thank you. You can deal with. Look. Today's best bet. Spoiler alert if you're looking at all the other stuff. Yay.
on the morning of the 20th.
Good call on the 2 being wide. I think that horse is one to watch. They just need to get some confidence with her, put her in the right spot, get a little bit of gate work. 6 is good horse. 6 is another one that needs a little bit of work out of the gate, but made it happen. Nine ran third. We gotta go back and watch the trips on here. Pozzoles, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Jump in the chat. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, this. Oh, I can't pull it up. We're gonna have to make this look ugly. I follow you on Twitter. You do? What's your name on Twitter?
And Justin Hamilton, they showed up at least one of your properties to help them fire, correct?
Pausmeister.
And
What's this horse going to pay? $9? Almost. $8.60. Let me find you on Twitter. All right, Breeders' Cup races. Whoa. If you're talking Breeders' Cup races, what do you think about race 6, the 7? I think he's the best horse in a race with a lot of headstrong speed horses, but he's a Euro closer, which is a big negative in these sprints. Let's go to the graph. I think I'm going to have to do these notes at another time. Oh, the 7. No, this horse is fine. Big, I mean, yes, I think that what again, you're making like hella good point that it is a European closer, which is a big negative in these sprints. So the only thing, but you're right in the sense that this horse belongs in this race and fits. So the only thing you have to keep in mind is just get the right number, because you do have those things that are against you just straight up. But if the horse is a number that you can live with, or you're going to use, key underneath or whatever, yeah, certainly. But I'm going to use that horse for sure. There's a couple others I like more, but I'm definitely going to use that one. Okay, let's look at some of these other horses in here. Kind of like the one in race 6. Why? You're going to have to come up with a reason. What's with the one in race 6? Because this is a big... When this horse is in grade 1, blanket duel, I don't know, just on class. Got a favorable trip last out. Let's hear it. Let's hear the case. I like Darian Nain in there, but that race is really wide open. I think for the same reason, just from a speed standpoint, just what do you think, like speed-wise, just like faster? European speed horse, very headstrong, won't race. I think wants no part of the 6 furlongs. Oh, when they were going longer? I just think this is, I just think class. You know what I mean? Like class, speed is one thing, but class when it comes to the turf is key. And when this horse is in grade 1 company, kind of struggles a little bit. But that horse should be a price in here. Who are we talking about? Okay, we talked about the 7, the 11. Yeah, I mean, no knocks. Just in the fact that, like, I think it's a class thing as well with the 11. Because, I mean, I mean, to be fair, it's like they've been placing the horse where that kind of makes sense for a turf sprinter this time of year. So I mean, I guess that's that. But again, does have to improve. Got a perfect trip last out. I think there were some rider errors in that race, if I remember correctly. Um, yeah, I mean, I think someone said it up here a little bit in the chat. It's Ward versus the Euros. I kind of see it. I kind of see it that way too. I see it that way too. I think that Averly Jane has legit speed, can go to the front. That could be tough. I mean, it's been solid on the front, like B pluses. Again, somewhat class tested. This horse is pretty good. This Twilight Gleaming horse has speed, can pass horses, grit. Yeah, I definitely I see it the same way. Ward versus the Euros. I think that those if it's not one of those two, then I can kind of get start getting creative elsewhere. I think Armor is like my next one out. All right. Anyone else, or should we look at the fourth race? All right. Race 4. I have a hard time going against the Mandela here unless there's an inside bias. The thing. I mean I agree. I think the 8 is logical, but what I will say is this: there's been a couple Mandela horses so far, like the last couple days, that just didn't run that well. I'm just saying. There was the favorite yesterday. It was a 6 horse that was like the fastest horse in the race. It was a maiden race. That horse had like almost a perfect trip and just didn't do shit. And then there was another horse that was a 10 horse. I think it was like the stakes race or one of the allowance races or something. But that horse was wide, so like okay, I could be a little bit forgiving, but still just didn't show much run. So I mean, yeah, I mean the 8 is on my tickets. I'm like spread because he can be like that where those horses go cold. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that the eight certainly makes sense. Thoughts on the 4? On the 4, yeah, man, the 4 for sure. The four is sneaky. I want to look. I'm gonna pull up this one like individually because Nick, you're probably seeing this. This is probably maybe the angle. Like these five furlong sprints are real specialty type horses that like them. Like we were talking about how you were saying the one horse in the 6th race, a horse that doesn't want to go 6 furlongs, that can be all the difference in the world, going from 6 to a 5 furlong horse. No Lasix is the only thing that concerns me with the 4. This is what I'm waiting for with this argument. Show me like 5 or some odd horses that since like this Lasix rule has changed, that you can 100% say Lasix made the difference in that race. Because I haven't seen it. So I am kind of ignoring it until come on, computer, until I start seeing where I can be like, all right, Lasix is like 100% making a difference. Not trip, not form, not speed, not rider. I don't know why this isn't letting me do what I want to do. Maybe because now I've dropped 27,000 frames. Is that bad? Come on. All my stuff is giving up right now. My computer, like, I think just broke down. All right. We can see the 4 on the screen because I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do apparently. But isolating those shorter races, go back to this 3rd start at Del Mar, the 1st start on the turf, ran a massive speed figure improvement, and then paired that up, coming off the layoff. B plus was a burst again, 5 furlong turf, 9 furlongs, grade 1, forget it, wants to be shorter, cuts back to 5.5, runs a good race, good speed figure, tactic minus, bad ride by Pratt, still finished 2nd. Another 5.5 furlong race was a grade 3. Another good race, B minus, strong speed figure, moved through traffic. Gallop minus here, even though won with a perfect trip, but that was 6.5. This race, cover was no keep, but was followed up by a layoff. So just isolating those sprint races, 100% fits in this race. I wish it would let me do this.
Did you ever ask Kyle Bitkoff? Perceive the dysfunction. There's not.
Okay, I think I got it. Oh no, it's being slow again. For looking at on the screen right here, which is just the turf sprint races that are shorter than 6 furlongs, that's what the form looks like. It's pretty strong. Balthus horses, in my opinion, have been a little bit underperforming here as well, but the big difference is 8-5 versus 9-1. Not sure if it means anything, but only one horse has raced back since that August 26th race, the one's last race. For the one. I think the inside 4 in this race are the ones to beat. Yeah, I mean, the one was coming off a layoff, got a perfect trip. I'm not crazy about the double layoff lines, but given the layoff, given a win, having trouble separating them. Well, if you're having trouble separating the 4 inside horses, if you're having trouble separating them, then the 1 is a toss straight off the bat, because then it's just math, right? If you're going, I like the 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all the same, then the 1 is a goner. You just try to beat that horse straight up. The two, even the 2. I'm not going to talk anybody off anything, okay? You do you. But if I'm looking at the 2 being 8-1 and the 4 being 8-1, speed figure wise, they kind of look the same. But class is a big difference. And then we talk about being like 5 furlong specialist. The 2 has those 2 races, but you're talking starter allowance company, then getting pressed on a flow aided trip. Doesn't necessarily look. I mean, it's not a bad spot for the 2. It just comes down to number, I guess. The 3 I have a little bit of a harder time getting to. Just with the layoff lines, step up in class, needs a lone trip. Probably not going to get it with some of the others in this field. The 4 we talked about. Prefer the 3 and the 4. Anyways, the 5 could be one of those horses that prefers to go shorter. They kind of figured out, started on the main track, switched the turf, improved in the matron, had a couple more main track races because that's Aqueduct. This horse is at Aqueduct. There's no turf racing that time of year. Comes back, it's 533-day layoff. They try to get back on the turf, still wins even though it's off the turf. Then they've been pretty much pointing to the turf ever since. 4 seems the best value of the bunch mentioned. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Even though the 3 is the bigger price, the 3 should be the bigger price. And then the 4 not taking any money, kind of scares me a little bit, if anything. Because I would put that horse at half of that. The 6 is the 2-year-old, right? Oh, the 6 is out. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. The 7 is a little bit. How much stock are you putting in the fact that the inside posts have dominated and turf sprints have dominated? Like that inside speed, they have been, but it's kind of what I was saying earlier, where they're also horses that make sense. Like if you're a speed horse and you draw the rail and you break on top, your chances of winning are probably pretty good just based on that. On the 4, doesn't that layoff concern you? Yeah, but she ran well off a similar layoff. She's not that old. If she's 6 or 7 or older, then I'd be like, oh yeah, that bothers me a little bit more. But a 4-year-old and coming back in this spot in particular on the undercard Breeders' Cup, a little bit less concerning. But it is concerning to me that she's not taking any money. 7 is just a little bit soft on Class. The 8 we talked about, who seems like deserving favorite. The 9 and the 10 are coming out of that same common race at Keeneland, where, in my opinion, the 9 who finished second kind of just got a more favorable trip on that turf course. Very wet and boggy course, just kind of forgivable. Horses didn't fire. And I think that was the case with this 10. Because if you excuse that race, like if you're going to the note and saying, forgivable that horses didn't fire, okay, draw a line through that last race. Those other races look pretty darn good. Yeah, I mean, the three I wouldn't, I mean, just kind of based on the plot and the price, if you like that horse, that would be a shame to just be like, well, the girl on Twitch was like, you know.
And Mr. Riker, how are you employed? How long have you been a police officer? Around 22 years now. And what is your current assignment? Third shift patrol. And were you
Clip it.
on the
Oh boy.
what were your general duties that you assigned patrol? So the state
Oh, what am I doing?
and where were you stationed or what were your activities? Let's say at the beginning of your shift that night. Just normal patrol, taking calls for service, staying in the area, downtown area, uptown area. What do you mean by staying in the downtown area or uptown area? In the outskirts of any congested area.
Never seen a condition for 2-year-olds and up before. Yeah, that took me back when I saw that. I did like a double take, and I'm like, who's the 2-year-olds in here? Who are the first horses that I draw an immediate X through?
Were you directed to go to the area of 63rd?
Gimmicks.
So what is evidence technician? We have special training along the average patrol officer has to respond to calls of service, burglaries, anything that needs fingerprinting, shootings, shots fired, suspicious deaths, stuff like that. Kind of like what everyone else as a CSI would be doing kind of as on patrol. Now, when you said you were there in Boston,
You take advantage.
at that point, how many details about the shooting did you get? I ask you to bring your microphone closer to you. You can move the microphone actually. That might be easier.
Let's see who's taking money in this last race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5.
So what is the first thing you did?
6, 7,
The scene is the car source location. Is that correct?
11, 12, 13.
I spoke to multiple supervisors on the scene. Asked what the circumstances were.
1, 4, 8, 1, 4, 8, 11, 12.
And then what is the next thing? Eventually, I started looking at some evidence and I started photographing. Where did you first locate evidence? First evidence.
So nothing too crazy as far as taking money in that fifth race.
Should we have coming to the, well, now you're off 53rd Street, sort of towards the end of that block in front of Parksmith. Yes. And what kind, can you tell what kind of shell casings those were? Those were 40 caliber. Are those the type that we normally start running into them? Typically, yes. Those were actually in the street. Correct. What's the next thing discovered? What did you do next? I planted down number planters for photographs 1 and 2, and then as I walked east towards the car, another showcase matched the other two on the darkway, which is between the sidewalk and the street. Typical house in there, right? So there's another 40 caliber.
Any other? Well, we only have 3 minutes here, but are there any other? We talked about race 6. If somebody missed that and wants to talk about anything in race 6, we can go there. But any of the other Breeders' Cup races later. I'm sorry, but is Woodbine still getting attention today as an alternate for us peasants that only can afford training? Prepare the 40Ks and my only play at Woodbine was the 8th race, which makes me think that there really wasn't anything that jumped out on the card, which meant I thought that the favorites were probably okay. So I'm probably not going to cover anything on there, like on the stream. But if I do end up streaming again, like on the regular, it's pretty hard to stream. Well, okay, this is kind of a two-parter, but it's hard to stream once Indiana Grand got started, because Indiana Grand is Monday through Thursday. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Thursday was either Del Mar, Santa Anita, Woodbine, etc. So essentially I'm putting out content already, original content through Optics Notes, Brisnet, Twin Spires, 8 days a week. And it's all original content. So it's hard to then stream. I'm fuck, I gotta stay. Right now I can't really do notes as well as I'm gonna have to go back and watch everything over again. So I need that time where I would be streaming to do all these notes. Because there'd be no other time for me to do it. So it's pretty tough. Now, kind of unfortunately, there's no track for me to do Twin Spires videos for in the next month. I mean, they're all taken, I guess. So I don't have that job coming up. I'll still do daily selections for Southern California. I'm doing notes for Fairgrounds, notes for Oaklawn, circles and squares at Oaklawn. So maybe I'll have a little bit more time to stream, to do Twitch, but who knows? Twin Spires wants me to do a blog, and I tentatively said yes, but it's not. I would rather do more video stuff because I'm just writing so much that it's I'd almost rather do Twitch than write another blog. Plus, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys like videos more than writing, or do you like reading more than watching a video? I feel like video people like more, but I don't know. You enjoy both? I do too. They complement each other. Agreed. But I guess where I'm coming from is a content, you digest more reading. I guess something where I'm coming from as a content creator, if all I'm doing is writing, then I'm fucking sick of writing. And so they're oh, can you do another writing piece? I mean, I can. All right, they're off. The one broke slow. It's they're trying to gun for the lead, but no one can really get there. Okay, the 3's out there. The 10 is out there. The 10 showing more speed today. 2's tracking inside. 5 covered up. 8 is a little bit wide. 4 is down inside, covered up. 7 is wide off the back. 1 is inside. No fractions yet. There we go. 22. Not going that fast. 3 could pull this off. Oh, here comes the 5 on the outside and the 2 from the inside. Oh, shit. Here comes a 1. Shit, that horse came fucking closing. And the 7. Oh, it's gonna be the 2. Fuck. This is why you shouldn't listen to Twitch streamers.
Did you look under every car for casings? Flashlight or something? Flashlight. You put outside.
Well, we know why the 4 was so cold on the board. They knew maybe the layup. I don't know. Oh, it didn't run that bad. There's a little bit of traffic there.
Is that some of the blood next to it? No.
One ran huge.
Next exhibit 52. That's just a close up of the stadium blood. Some of the shadows of black. Actually, not even close up. Next exhibit 53 is. What are we looking at here? Alright, number 5 is at the bottom of the screen. That's one of the fire shelters that I was talking about. Number 6, which is up on the top of the screen. That's part of that. Would that be all that darker color area there?
Going back to clip your thoughts on the 2. Go for it. Go for it.
Is it fair to say that when we look at this picture, we're sort of looking in the midst of those group of 6 cars?
I said it. Dude,
So what is the next thing that's
where the fuck was the 8? I don't, like, Mandela, I think, is cold. Because, I mean, I think I was, like, calling out every horse in that race, and that horse just, like, disappeared. Total no-show. You were spot on Mandela. I started to notice that trend, and I've seen that trend with Mandela before, and it's horses like this. That this is like when you can really tell like hot and cold. A horse like the 8 that just on paper you're like, this horse totally makes sense. Like this is the most likely winner in the race. There's some of these others in here, you know, they can win whatever, but like the 8 is consistent, fast, loves this track, boom. And then when a horse like that doesn't fire, something's up. And then those other ones that didn't fire either, it's a little fishy. United is scratched. I'm about to put like a tinfoil hat on here.
So we're kind of looking in the middle of that group of 6 cars. And did you change any of the lighting or do anything with the lighting from earlier in the evening?
Didn't run a step and not commence the outsides placement on turf either. Agreed on both. You definitely need to be inside. Even the one who came like on the outside late but was like inside for most of the running, you got to be inside and covered up. But it's not enough to be a bias because the 3 was on the inside. The pace wasn't that fast, and that horse finished last, I think. Last or second to last. Just no finish.
So 51, 52, 54, that's the heavens. What is then the next thing that you discover as you process the scene?
And the 4 was inside too and just had no run.
Did you find another casing on Sheridan Road?
A bunch of Goldilocks. 7 ran big too. But even that horse was kind of inside a little bit. I guess 4. Well, 4 ran okay, but I mean, she wasn't gonna win.
Is that the extent of your activity at this track seat? Before I left, there was a possible shots fired from a target west of us, 1 block west of us, and I went over there to locate on that. Best of your knowledge, I have no relation.
That horse could have one of your ouchie tags, the 3. Do you think? I don't think the 3 was ouchie, just like not good. Just not good enough for this race. Maybe if you put Santana on Mandela horses, the 2 will cancel each other out, and you'll have a bunch of winners. Just a theory. The ride on the 4 was a little ouchy. Yeah, I was trying to like look at that. It wasn't great, but I think it was also, I think it's one of those trips too that people will look at and be like, this horse had so much trouble. But I just don't think, it wasn't a clean trip by any means, but I don't know if a clean trip would have mattered today. Because she was just kind of inside. Even getting out in the clear doesn't really show the kick. Hey, what are you doing?
So you're looking at, I need to get back question. You're looking at another
The 7 came home. Wait, the 1 came home the fastest, but the 7, that Calbred, came home pretty fast. The rest of them, not so much. They were going pretty kind of slowly. Horse was inside tube, didn't fire in the clear. Yeah, just kind of, I think they kind of seemed to lose momentum once yanked off the rail, but kick wasn't there either. Yeah, that was kind of my thought. And especially the fact the horse just didn't take money. Like, if the horse was, like, bet down, I would be like, okay, I think probably the trip played a role. But just the fact it was, like, iceberg on the board, had that subtle trip, but then just kind of short. I don't know. We have some people we're rooting for in the pick 5. I just went bust. Unless I punched my ticket wrong, I'm bust. 4 deep, all sleds. 1, 11, 12. Where is this? Don't be amazing. Oh, fuck. Dude, these pick 5s are paying good, too. Jesus Christ. Oh, of course, that 30 to 1 in there. Fuck. Mm. The late pick 4, pick 5 is Echo Zulu a single or a toss for you? Can you see my screen? Can you guys see that or no? Is it too small? You can see it, is my guess. Unloaded on that horse in the spin away. Dude, she ran fucking so good in the spin away. So good in the spin away. She broke slow, moves into that fast pace, and then gives the biggest threat to Echo Zulu. I think she wins that day in the spin away. If she doesn't break slow, she might have won that day. And if she wins that day, slammed the gate. Exactly. Yeah, if she wins that day, she's like clear second choice in here. Maybe even favored. And she's given the biggest threat to Echo Zulu of any horse so far, and did it with trouble. And moving into a fast pace. Trainer is definitely underrated. Gets good horses though. Gets really good. She is a good trainer. Because we're talking about Callahan earlier with the one. Another barn that gets really good horses, but such a smaller percentage of them do something. I feel like all the horses that Cherie trains, like the good ones, stay good. The ones that are decent are competitive against decent. And consistent. Like consistent type. She spots them right, exactly. She spots them right. She picks good spots. She has them ready to run. Not overly ambitious, which again, why I like this horse in this spot. For that reason, she spots them right. Are they going to go into this race? All the options coming off the layoff, unless that horse can run. That horse can run. Maybe Echo Zulu beats her. That's fine. But to me, I'm taking a shot. Trying to be a separator. I don't think I follow the today's best bet rules because I think most people that do the today's best bet, they go for like the most likely winner. And I think that doesn't make sense, but I think I can see why people do that because then they could be like, I won this many percentage races. My variance is higher, but I'm putting in horses like that. That 6 was my single in the pick 5. That was today's best bet. I'm trying to make people money. Kind of a tricky spot with a first time starter, whatever. Try to find horses that are separated. I assume they targeted this race while ITP is in the chat. Has he? ITP is in here. Target this race while walking. What's the first part of this? What is happening? I assume they target this race while walking off the track at Saratoga. I have not bothered. The horse has not run since. Yeah, I mean, I think just the fact that no, just sounds like something you could say. Thank you. That's a good compliment. That is a good compliment. Bothered the horse has run since. Yeah, I mean, I think if the horse was ready to run, or like they wanted to give her another race, get some confidence, maybe do the 2 turns or whatever, they would have. That I think that there is positive intent in here. IGP though is probably alive in the pick 5. On the best bet point, your approach is exactly right. If you're not uncovering the hidden value, then what's the point? Yeah, especially especially in somebody who's in my role that like I have to sell this stuff. I'm selling this stuff, right? So I want to. And I recognize and I appreciate that people are buying my content, um, because there's I understand why that's kind of a negative too. But if they are, I want it to be something that like makes them money at the end. At least trying to make money. Trying, because right now I'm a little sick over this. Guess I'll have to bet something else. Pick six? No. Pick six is mandatory tomorrow, right? Oh wait, no, it's $1.
You said there was a rifle. Was there anything else along with the rifle? There was also a sight or a scope that they bought inside the box that was not attached. Was there anything attached to the rifle?
That 8th race is kind of a spread.
And was there any?
The highest compliment that can be given is that you're not a tout. Just go check. Yeah, you can call me ITP. Just don't call me a tout. What about Jack Christopher getting scared of Cornish hen?
So what did you find when you looked at that magazine?
Who's gonna win that race? Probably it's either Cornish hen or Giant Game. Wait, something is happening. The chat's going so fast. Do you think Joker Boy sends with the one post and the blinkers? I like him here. I'm not sure what they do with him, but do you remember that trip? Do you remember his trip on debut? Because that was sneaky. They started to use for speed. The horse showed speed. A bunch of other horses went for the lead, and they were kind of like, "All right, you guys all want it. We'll just wait. We'll just sit here and wait." And then that horse just still exploded so much class. And then they went to the lead just because, just much the best in that horse again, just so much class. So I think there's options. I think they'll try to break out on top because of the post position. But then I think that, if other horses try to go, that horse can rate. He can sit behind horses. Just like a good talented horse. What are your... Dude, I need a new chat thing. What are you doing with the outside Euros in the 8th, the 12th, and the 13th in particular with those posts? I'm going through that right now, actually. The 8th race. I mean, you could... That's tough. That's already like a spread race for me. So I'm going to use the 6, the 9, nice, 11.
Was there any other evidence that was not really...
And I want to use 12. Any insights on Walter Solis? He's been around forever. I've been around forever. He was like a good California Calbred type trainer. This 12 has been not running against Calbreds. This horse should have been running against Calbreds. Is in the right spot to run against 12 breds. The horse... Something on the 11. The horse in that race for me is the 11, 19 to... Yes. The 11 for sure. I like that horse so much better than what's the other one? The 7? He has the 7, right? Consumer spending. Just okay. First of all, the 11 has won twice, right? On debut, disqualified, whatever, hit the wire first. They had entered the 11 in the Jessamine before she broke her maiden at Keeneland. I think that's the Jessamine Stakes is what that's called. So just the fact that they were like, we'll just run in a graded stakes race, whatever. Decided not to for whatever reason, then breaks the maiden, then they run here. I think that horse is so much better. The 7, consumer spending, they're like, let's go to Laurel. Laurel? Why are you sending good horses to Laurel for non-graded stakes races? Sorry. You're going to enter a maiden in a grade 2, yet your special weight winner is going to go to Laurel. I think I think I can see what's going on here. Okay, so I'm going to use the 12 but not the 13. Are you going to use the 13? Ninth race, I just talked about. Giant Game, Cornish Hen. This last race. Damn. What's your favorite wagering sequence for the rest of the day, not just your picks? That's what I'm looking at like right now. Because the pick 5 is a no-brainer. But then after that, you're just taking kind of the worst of it. Yeah, the takeout just sucks. Can somebody confirm that the pick 6 today is getting paid out? And that it's not a jackpot? The problem with the sequences are the short fields and the chalk races. I mean, today could be okay if you kind of being that I'm going to single a horse that's not Echo Zulu. I can kind of get a little bit creative in some of the others, but it could be. But to your point, I mean, and Echo Zulu could win. Like I'm willing to accept that. But like the turf sprint that starts could be chalk. The 7th race, that's the Juvenile Fillies. Discussed. The Juvenile Fillies turf. Seems like we have some prizes in there. That seems like a race that you want to spread. Because there's really no clear-cut favorite in that race. That's a spread. The 9th race could be chalk. The 10th race could also be chalk. Because the 1's going to be favored, right? I think the 1 will be favored. So yeah, I mean it could be a little bit chalk. Wait a second. Friday's pick 6, early and late pick 5. Well, I mean, what does that mean? That they may carry over. Like if nobody hits it, yeah, but there's no confirmation about it not, so it's a jackpot. Yeah, is it a jackpot or not? What the fuck? Dude, I wish ITP was in the room. We need answers. Oh, need Twitter to come through.
You sound like testimony or understand truth the whole
Everything just says the same thing. I mean, the fact that it's $1.
what's your name? Officer Murray. And spell your first and last name for Yes, the first name is me, and my last name is M-O-R-E-T. And how are you employed? The City of Kenosha Police Department. How long have you been with the City of Kenosha Police Department? A little over 12 years.
How is it that on Twitter I can figure out how to solve COVID by Joe Rogan, but I can't figure out if this is a jackpot or not?
Were you with anyone that you named in your squad car? Yes, my partner that you named was Officer Green. And what were your general duties then? Patrol. And what is that? What do you mean by patrol? We were assigned to an area throughout the city. We were in the kind of downtown area, so we have different areas that we patrol. There are assigned numbers, and we're located in center areas 1, which would be 60th Sheridan and other areas around. Now, is there anything other than perimeter going on in that area? Yes, there was civil unrest. So, was your duty to control the civil unrest, or other things, or both, or how was that work? It was a combination of both. So, we had patrol areas that were responsible for doing our normal routine patrols, but then we also had to respond to fires that were taking place, civil unrest, anything that would be actively taking place that we need to respond to. At any point in that evening, were you made aware of a potential shooting? Yes, Officer Krieger and I were at 60th Street in the Woodland Ave, and we heard gunfire, and then a few moments after that, dispatch advised that they were receiving calls that there were
I don't think we're ever gonna know the answer.
300 block of shooting.
Oh,
So what did
no,
you guys this way?
nothing.
You guys were in a SWAT car. We were actually at foot at 160th and 1, and we could hear gunfire in close proximity to us. So then what did
My
you
guess, yeah, because that's what I'm thinking, but I cannot confirm it. I know.
gunfire was coming from? Which would have been part of the 6300 block of Sheridan Road. And who was driving? I was. And then Officer Krieger being the passenger seat. That's right. So you were at 6th and 11th. Did you just drive right down 60th Street? Correct. We proceeded east on 60th to Sheridan Road, and then I made a right turn to face south of Sheridan Road. Now you had left the siren flag, or how you operated? I don't recall if I had our lights active. That's it. So what happened when you get to 60th and Sheridan? You turned right on Sheridan. Right. So I turned the vehicle to face south on Sheridan, and there was a large crowd of people. There was a lot of screaming, yelling. There was appeared to be a person biking forward on the headless. There was active gunfire throughout the entire city. There's still sounds of gunfire.
3 is a little bit warm out on the track. I guess I'm just gonna have to play this and see what happens.
So that the south would be pointing in that direction. That's right. Now, in this sort of situation where there's
I don't think it's a jackpot. It's a 2-day meet, so mandatory payout on Saturday.
what are you trained to do? What are you trying to do with that? So for a situation like that, the first thing that we would do is if there's an active threat, we're trying to take
Oh, so okay, so I see what you're saying. So So if 6 of 6 pays today, regardless of how many people that has it, but if it carries no matter what, it's a mandatory. Got it. That I think that's the answer. Thank you. Thank you so much. So sequence that I'm gonna play. I guess I am playing pick threes here to close in the 7th.
So what if anything happened next? What if anything happened next? The Bearcats, I believe, and pass us a lot, so we were going in, and there was, I'm not sure how many Bearcats passed us, and there was at that time on a white male approaching us in the wrong way toward the front row. And now, as you're sitting here, you know that unknown white male was, yes, fourth Calvert. And you had never seen him before? No. And you see this unknown white male going down to the Scott Rittenhouse. When he had a rifle that was slung and somehow attached to his body, he had his hands.
Okay.
My partner and I also multiple commands to get out of the runway and step to the side so proceed and try to.
Number 5 seems like a bit of an overlay here. Mullen's second time out is solid. Not fan of Drayden Van Dyke though. You know, Drayden rides this turf course pretty well. He won on the first race yesterday on that 6 horse with where I was talking about earlier, making that perfectly timed move on the turf. He did it. He did it.
Essentially get out of our way so we can get to where we believe the problems be. As Mr. Rittenhouse is approaching the vehicle, were there other people in your way, or was he the primary person blocking you? At that point, he was the only.
He used to be a strong finisher. Now he kind of looks like Ken DeSormo, and Ken DeSormo was bad. Let's go, Jungle Boy. Yeah. I see. I agree with you. He can be really. He's like I know what you're saying. He's either like good or bad. There's like no in between. Like a hot or cold. Like yesterday, that ride on the 6 was like chef's kiss. It was like perfection. Like perfectly timed, waited, did everything right. But then like the 20 rides before that were probably I don't even remember them.
And were there other people out that night that had rifles and firearms? We were surrounded all night, all week, but there was probably more people armed with weapons than not throughout the entire course of this contest. So seeing someone in the AR-15 wouldn't necessarily mean much.
It's not a bad race to sit out if you don't have an opinion because the favorites are logical. If you hated the favorites and you're just like, oh, there's so many prices, I don't know where to go, then at least you got to take a shot with somebody. But yeah, I mean the favorites make sense. Where are we at? The one broke a little bit slow. It looks like it's so hard when they only show that head on. It's hard to tell, but I think the one broke slow. And then is moving up. 11 is wide. 12 is sitting free. 5 is getting a trip.
So
11 starting to move. 12 starting to move. 1 is stuck.
I don't remember exactly what the direction was, but it was something.
1 got through here, but I don't know how much energy. 7 at a big price is making a move too.
Obviously, it's not only taking place and act on that, but anything that would be more likely is you have the capability.
Damn, dude, your 5 ran huge.
So couldn't get perfect instead. So if you observed
Dude, the 5 was like Benghazi. He wasn't going away. All right, 12, 11.
so they had a priority list that
Tried, yeah, ran huge.
So this man being out of his Calvary house is approaching you. There's commands over the PA. There's commands being shouted. What's the next thing that happens? He approached the passenger side of our patrol vehicle with him, disobeying the commands and getting armed with a rifle like that, no service weapon, and Officer Krieger deployed pepper spray. It became clear and obvious that he was not going to go away, that he continued to just advance out as disobeyed commands. Now, you say you were still driving the vehicle, correct? Correct. So when you draw your service weapon, what does that mean? What did you do? So anytime we're confronted with somebody that's armed and immediate threats to us, it's not uncommon for police officers to step in and ambush. And given everything that was taking place in a war zone, as one way to describe it, we were surrounded.
5 did run really well. Those 3 were miles ahead of the rest. Yeah, and the 5 was the 12 got a great trip because he got that like free stalking trip. The 11 ran huge too because the 11 was wide outside those horses close to the pace. The 5 was between horses on the pace. That's a stressful trip. And then even when the 11 ran alongside of him, he didn't fold. He's like, "You want to win this race? You're gonna have to work for it."
I would imagine that was that point that somebody advancing us with rifle not being advanced at that point. Now, were you on patrol the night before? I believe it was. You don't remember for sure? I worked continuously through all of our civil unrest, and I don't believe that was any days off, so I was in good service. If you remember, you may not. It's fair to say there were more fires upon the enemy the night before Tuesday. That's right. Through that period of time, I was there from the start of the civil unrest with protesting, and long before we had actually settled in place, I was there at the start of it. Is it fair to say that there was more presence of Bearcats and National Guard for this Tuesday night than the Monday night? Yes. Now, you said you drew your weapon and Officer Krieger deployed pepper spray. Were you able to see pepper spray on the impact or hit the turret house? Not sure if it made contact with him, but his deployment of the pepper spray.
What? The court feed just got shut off for something that's happening at the World Series. What is this? Hopefully my Breeders' Cup picks are better than my undercard picks. Yo. That fucking race 4 stings. Like, a lot. Like 5-figure stings. I think that was slower than Phillies, like 6 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, well, it wasn't, the pace wasn't crazy fast, but it is different when it's like a little bit contentious. Like when they're all kind of putting stress up front. 12,000. 6,000 from 50 cents is what it paid. Let's go pick 6. No way. Oh, they haven't updated the odds. I'm like, no way that the morning line nailed this. Did you get involved in the pick 6? I did put a ticket in. It's I didn't go too nuts on it because of the reasons that we are talking about, where could be chalk, could be chalk, could be chalk, could be chalk. So tried to get creative in a couple spots, and if it works out, it works out, and if it doesn't, then wasn't going to be one. If it chalks out, then that's fine. I'm not playing a pick 6 to hit all the chalks in a row. If it's all crazy long shots in a row, I'll at least be like glad that I put a ticket in, even if I didn't hit, just knowing that it was probably a good sequence. But this thing with the trial, that's so weird. I'm not going to play this. Well, I'm not playing this pick 5 because I played the pick 6. You know what I am going to do here, though? Does the inside turf course at Woodbine play kind of speed usually? It can. I haven't been following. I have to go do the notes later. I haven't been following there to see what it is doing today. But it can't. Oh, today. No, I know there's no turf today, right? Yeah, turf is done. It can. The wind impacts it. But I don't think it's a catch-all yes answer. And it's weird too. It's weird. It's tough to get a read on like what the turf course does at Woodbine, because you get, especially like the inner turf, because you get so many horses that, or you get horses that are specialists on the inner turf because it's the 2 turns. But then a lot of those races are filled with horses that prefer like that 1 turn or are kind of used to that 1 turn. So it makes it a little bit tougher to try to figure out like what the track is doing. Like, did it favor that horse because this horse likes this track? Or like, did the race completely change because you have all these 1 turn horses? Anyways, this sequence coming up. Who's the 8? Oh, Averly Jane. Yeah, this horse is fine. I'm gonna play this. Well, pick 3 I still have going, but another pick 3 here. And then spreading a little bit deeper in that 8th race, like those horses that were like, oh, I don't want to use this one. I don't want to go too deep. I can go a little bit deeper on that one. 33 minutes between races. Jesus Christ. 6-8-4 spread. So I have 6-8 to 4 from the previous race. So I'm good there. So here where I went 6-4 spread. 6-4 a couple for a lot more. I have to see what that double is, because maybe that double is just worth playing. Like I think the 8 is the reason I'm doing that is not because I dislike the 8. I do like the 6 more. I think the 6 is kind of crazy at 6-1 right now. Because I prefer her to the 8, but I don't dislike the 8. Just 8 is really short. Got it. I skipped the 5th, so I need something around the 4 besides the pick. Skip the 5th. Oh, okay. Skip the 5th. Oh, got it. Can't take less than 2-1 in this race. True. Agreed. Pitching the 8. Yeah, I have. I wouldn't be starting a ticket with the 8 in this spot. It's in the middle to the single. But I'm not starting with the 8. Are you guys all standing up right now? You better be. Just kidding. Please don't get mad at me for saying that. What's going on NBCSN? What's going on over there? Is that the official? Is that the official? Well, the court's back. What's going on there? Give us updates. Doubles to the 1. What? To the 1? Who's this contrarian opinion? Desert Dawn? Oh. In race 7? What's the T? What's the T on the 1? In race 6? Oh, in race 6, yeah. Okay, race live to the 1. Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. It's freaking out a little bit. We talked about the 1. That was like one of the first horse he talked about was the 1. It's the NBCSN. It's just boring, and we're getting the typical. Let's clean it up. Teach the public what a superfecta is. Jeez. Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously like not listening to the feed, so I can't really like critique of what they're saying. But just like broad statements to like solve systemic problems is not really doing anything. You know? Like we're all like, let's end homelessness. Like I think we can all agree on that. When we start trying to discuss ways that we're going to solve that problem, then things get messy. Oh, well, if you do that, then you know, we can't just put everybody in vacant houses because, you know, landlords own property. You know, this type of thing. Like what would that entail? Like what would cleaning up cleaning up the sport and tail. Missed the chat about the one header or fill the taster's choice. Oh man, dude, I have to cut off coffee like 9 a.m. now. I'm gonna get late. So the chat on the one, Pazzols, am I saying that wrong? Was like this horse earlier because just thinks it's a 5 furlong horse. Can cut out those longer sprints. Likes the 5 furlong form. Yeah, exactly. Talking heads don't want to bite the hand that feeds. Exactly. Exactly. It's so much easier. It's so much easier to say let's clean up the sport than be like, when all this shit is going on, being like, you can't participate. You know, whatever the thing is, right? I haven't been counting the whips either. Are we getting like whip violations left, right, and center? I don't think the jockeys are gonna pay any mind to that. They're gonna try to win races. Deal with the what's the fine for using a whip too many times? $50? $500? Yeah, so pretty much $50. It's $1 million. It's a million dollar race. Like, oh, you hit your horse too many times. Like, oh, okay, what do I owe? $500? Okay, no big deal. 20K or 500, right? On $1 million race, it's more than 20K. Well, I guess what you're saying is the jockey, right? But I'm sure the owner. I don't know. I can't really say what the owners would do, but I feel like they would kick it down. I'm slacking on this. We need the plot. Oh, he did get that $500 fine yesterday? Yeah. I figured. I mean, at this point, when he was like, what, 0 for 90 going into that race, I'm sure he's like, I will pay $500 to get a win. Right? That's like us when we're on like a losing streak. We're like, I'll add one more horse at this point. Like, I am just so, whatever it's going to take. Well, it should be subtract at that point, but whatever. Yeah, it's still, I mean, it's still, $500 isn't enough to like really stop somebody in this scenario. If you get caught using the whip that many times in a race, you can't ride the rest of the card. We don't care. It's the Breeders' Cup. Then those horses won't ever feel that whip. But I don't really think it's that big of a deal. The whipping, that is. They put a Yo, that one is run so many times. I did too. I ignored the big square for Peter Miller. Peter Miller could also be a little bit cold. I know he got a winner, but that horse is a big square because she's had favorable. She or he? What is this? He has had favorable trips. See this like flow, no finish, lone. That's why that horse looks like a square. I like the 7 here, but was thinking a better price. Yeah, it's getting pretty, it could be pretty close to the bone. Because that's the horse that's the closer, right? 9 is very interesting. Is it? The 9 is another one that looks good on the plot because of getting those favorable trips against softer company. This will be a class test. Yeah. Yeah. See so much speed here. Looks like it. Yeah, because some of these horses, like the 9, like the 10, even, fuck, dude, the 12 is fast as hell. That horse is quick. Um, the 8, um, who knows? Some of these zeros have a little bit of speed. The 6 can be forward. The 6 doesn't need the lead, but the 6 can be close. But some of those horses that are on the outside, 9, 10, 12, 8, 9, 10, 12, they are all probably going to be gunning it. Dude, who's the 2 in the 7th? Oh, Hidden Connection. Dude, the 4 is going to be the 4th choice. The 2 is taking a lot of money. That horse has had favorable trips. I'm talking about race 7. All right, be right back. What did I miss? What did I miss? Uh, See so much speed. Yeah, Hidden Connection has had Dream Trips. I think she'll have to take Dirt in her face here. Easy play against for me. Yeah, where was I? Did I write about her? I wrote about her. Pace could be contested with Hidden Connection. She's yet to. This is what it was. Asked to do something here for the first time. Okay. Yeah, she's been up close to really soft paces. And she's gonna have to run with Echo Zulu today, or run behind horses, do something new. So yeah, she's an easy one that I'm against as well at a short price. And looking at the doubles, she's not gonna be as close as that. She's not gonna be this co-favored, but she's gonna be pretty close to Echo Zulu. Take the juice trainers. Who are the juice trainers? Who isn't the juice trainer? Who is not the juice trainer? Did you see him? Did he walk by in the background? I'm very surprised she is taking so much money in the doubles. Yeah, me too. Hope the hound is doing well. Yeah, we're Frost. You want to come over here and say hi? Come here. Come on. You might have seen him walk by in there. You can can you see him? Where's my finger and where's the thing? He's right there. Good point. Yeah, Frost, he is doing well. I'm gonna have to take him out maybe after this race. Weather's getting cold. He likes the cold weather. He got a new dog bed, so that's been exciting. Although he seems to like the old one a little bit better right now, but we'll see. The morning though is pretty cold. He gets to wear a sweater, so he likes that too. How old? He's 5. He's 5 years old. He came off the track when he was 2. He only had 9 races. Didn't win. And then he was just in a costume contest for Halloween. He didn't win that either. So I'm trying to get him a win in any way possible. We'll keep trying. Poor guy, I know. I don't think we can feel that bad for him because he's a pretty happy dog. He has a good life, but I'm trying to break his maiden by any means possible. Costume contest, can't race anymore. How is the transition from the track to your place with the greyhounds? So it's pretty easy. So I had a couple foster dogs since I've had Frost that like are pretty much just like right off the track and then come into the home. But the thing with the greyhounds is they're so routine, and so once they're just kind of like, okay, this is a new routine for me, they just kind of fit right in, and they're not super high energy. Again, they just kind of like the routine. So, he likes going for walks, but I don't have to like run him or, like when it gets super cold here and we're only going out for like short little walks, like he's cool with that. Just being able to like go out at his routine time. He's not like inside here like trying to like tear the place down. Like he has tons of energy. Not destructive. Yeah, they're great dogs. He's right now just chilling. He was walking around a little bit, but mostly just sleeping. That's his style. Yeah, what is the private chat? They just said that Del Mar looks empty, but it looks like the paddock is pretty full. Are they showing like crowd shots that are just like empty? Looks cold at Del Mar. Does it? I see a lot of skin out there at Del Mar. See some sleeveless. Oh, it's 60 there? When I lived in Arizona, I would think 60 is cold. They said it's going to be mid 60s with a lot of shade. Yeah, when you are at Del Mar and it is when you're in the shade, it is cold. Especially just like the acclimation, because once it does get 60 and you're used to like that West Coast weather, it does feel like 60 is cold all of a sudden. I was there for Breeders' Cup in 2017 and it got chilly. I was there for Breeders' Cup in 2017. It did get cold. Yeah, that's pretty typical for this time of year. And then like you'll be there in the shade and it's like super cold, like you have your jacket on, you're kind of like shivering a little bit, and then you'll go out towards the paddock, like right there, and it's like, oh, now I'm hot again. I went there in November 2019. It was very cold in the grandstand. Yeah, it can be. Haha, yeah. Like a couple years before that, when was the Santa Anita one? Where did it go? It went Churchill in 2016, right? And then 2015 was Santa Anita? I'm so bad with dates. But I think it was that year, whatever it was, like 2014 or 2015. Maybe it was there both. 15 was Keeneland? Was 16 Santa Anita? Because that was Faro. Okay. 16 was Santa Anita? Hmm. '20 was Keeneland. 18 Santa Anita. So 15? I feel like it was before Keeneland. Cup 2015. No, 2015 is they're saying Faro. What is happening? Okay, yeah, 15 was Keeneland. Okay, that's what you said. Okay. So then what was 2016? Okay, 2016. I don't think that's right either. 2014. Okay, 2014. This is the stupidest, like the longest story. 2014 was at Santa Anita. All right. That was the year I was out there clocking in the morning. The year Byron. Oh God. There's a lot. Yes, it was definitely. Thank you. Now it's all coming back. So I was out there clocking that year, and it was like the coldest it was like I felt that I'd ever been in the morning. And so like I had to buy a Breeders' Cup jacket because that's the only thing they were selling and I was fucking freezing in 2014. But then I looked at on getting a jacket because the one jacket that I wanted, they mispriced it, so I ended up getting like a really expensive jacket for super cheap. So that was like my first winning bet of the weekend, was getting this jacket on a mistake. They mispunched the ticket price on the jacket. But yeah, oh shit. So yeah, that Bayern dude, that I thought they were gonna riot that place to the ground with Bayern, because that inquiry was forever, as everyone knows, and everyone in the place is like, he's coming down, for sure, he's coming down, 100%. And then there was no change, and it was like people did not know what to do. 2021, after people have been like in a lockdown, they probably would riot if there was such a thing. The year Bayern won, 2016, that's the order 13-14, yeah. Go Bears go, coming up. I bet Toast in New York in that classic too against Bayern. Me too. And I think Anna was going to win a tournament with Toast in New York as well. I was with my buddies at Del Mar that year, and the reaction was the same there. I bet. Yeah, that was wild. I remember watching Bayern on TV. Baffert seemed pretty confident. Wow. Yeah, I'm sure. Baffert was the only person in the entire building that was like, we got this. Everyone else was like, he's coming down. Easiest DQ I've ever seen in my life. Why is it taking so long? If this horse doesn't come down, I'm never betting a single race ever again. You guys know how it goes. The 6 looks gorge on the track. 1 looks good too. You guys on the 1? Woo! Good looking horses in this race. Yeah, the 1 looks really good. Which one of his 3 in the juvenile is going to be the lead blocker today? Well, now that the 1 is scratched, I don't know who they're going to try to target. Maybe they go, I don't know. Do you think they go after Pletcher? I feel like you wouldn't want to go after Pletcher. I don't know. I mean, at first it would be the 1 for sure, but I don't know who they target. I don't think they're scared of anybody with the Cornish hen. You know who I think is going to be a blocker though? Because maybe I won't come on the stream tomorrow. I don't know. Hold on. On the interview, look like. Dude, this chat thing is weird. Looked like there was no chance of him coming down. If you can get a replay, also comment. Yeah. You know what? I should watch it again because it's been kind of years. Maybe my opinion will be different now that I've watched like a gazillion horse races since then. 1 does look really good on the track. Pretty empty, assuming they're allowing 100% capacity based on those NBC shots. What is it? Is it proof of vaccination or negative COVID test? Hi, there's Frost. He's hiding. Hi, Frost. I know we're gonna go out soon. Maybe after this. You can kind of see him. Hi. Maybe it's time for some exactors. Just go for the looks. 1-6. Trainer of the 7 commenting on how big the American horses are doesn't inspire confidence in the 7. Edzo just said, who's Edzo? Edzo just said he doesn't know much about the Europeans, yeah. And he picked a Euro. What is happening? Dude. You're trying to throw that 12 in there. Okay, so some 1-6. You guys peer pressured me into the 6. I mean into the 1. We use the 7. No 8 in the exactors. Oh, hockey? Oh, I know who you're talking about. Okay. Okay, 1-4, double it? Double that? Overlay Jane might win, might. Overlay. Underlay Jane. Alright. Let's see what happens. 1-4 double. What was that paying? 1-4 double. Good luck. Good luck, everybody. Dude, slow down on the prune juice over there, POTUS. Three, 3-2-9 for 2? Whoa. That's overlay, Jane. Well, those are, yeah, of course they're going to be overlays because of that fave. That's a good ass bet. The 6 is like, oh, there's too much speed. I don't give a fuck. I'm going. Here comes the Ravelli. Ravelli speed. 6-9. Hooking it up. See what I did there? Not even riding that Peter Miller horse. Oh, that one on the inside, though. 5 is closing. Shit. Come on, 6. Come on, wire. Come on, wire. What did that come in? Six, is that 6-3-11? Come on, 11, please get 3. Broad can cap. 6-3. Did 11 get third though? Oh, Jimbo, let's hope. That ride on the 11. Just a little too short for the 11 maybe, huh? Does she get up for third? Oh, it was on the outside too? Yikes. Dude. So close, 2 or 11. Oh. On my second glance, I don't know. If they show this angle and you're like, oh, well, maybe the 8 won the race. Like, what is that? Can't even tell who won. Horse racing has the best technology in the world. This is drama. Dude, their photos take forever. Their photos take forever when it's like a horse that's like won by like half a length. This one, we could be here for a while. It's making me think that. I think you can take the dog out on this result, dude. That 100% was the first thing that like crossed my mind. I'm like, we might be able to. And this, and I'm on the 15th floor too, and I could probably still make it. Oh, motherfuck! That, God, today sucks. Where's my thing? Oh, who is that stupid too? mean. I'll take a dead heat now. $4.22. Oh, it wouldn't have been that, but it still would have been about 200. Man, that's tough. The other ward. No, that was the right ward. Just the public did something silly. I mean, the 8 made sense, but this 6, this horse was so good. Those races, so much class. Just much the best. Hmm. Oh, that's what it is. All right, 30 minutes. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take my dog out. It's 30 minutes. I got the pot up. So I'll be back. I'll be back for this race. Chat is still live, so feel free to chat. We'll be back. All right, Frost. Hi, chat. Okay. So you guys are talking about the turf. It looked like the inside was good. Late pick 4, top pick in caps, 5, 6, 1, 5, 6, 9, 12, 13, 2, 4, 12, 1, 1, 2, 3, 12, 14. Good luck to all. Did you punch that again with those top guys? Those parenthesis horses? As another secondary ticket? You can double it. What if you're right? Woo! There you go. That's what's up. Right. So 3, and then also played 3 top picks with all in each leg. Well, if I played the pick 5 again, I might single Modern Games in the last with this inside post. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, if you're already strong on the horse before and then has the track profile, why not? Caton's singling the 12. Cornishen? Okay. Modern Game, spreading, single, the chalk, 4, 5, 6, 9, 13. Damn, dude. No love. No love for Chad Brown. He's going to be a short price. Yeah. Got some spread in that race. Could be chalk. Could be chalk. All right. Yeah, I think that horse would probably be on every ticket to close out. But yeah, the sequence could. Well, it wasn't. I mean, the 6 wasn't the chalk in that race. But if Echo Zulu wins here, the Phillies turf is crazy. There's no who's being bet right now. 1, 5, 9, 9 and 11. 9 and 11 look like the 2 horses that are going to be the shorter prices. Koala and Howdy in race 8. There's really no short price, so we'll just kind of determine. So people probably spreading in that race. And then the 9th race could be chalky. Yeah, I mean it could be a chalky sequence. Seven. Who's 7? 7 is also taking money. Okay, that's the other Chad Brown. Okay, that makes sense. That'll be a short price.
winner of the
I'm not playing the pick 4 here because my pick 6 ticket is still alive, and I would just play those horses on a pick 4, so it doesn't really make any sense at this point. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say earlier. I got a little distracted, but now I can remember. Have to restart. Okay, be right back. Who was asking earlier about which Baffert horses are going to play blocker? And I don't know about the juvenile, but tomorrow in the filly and mare turf sprint. So, let me pull that shit up. Hold on. 1 second. Because we need a visual. Race 4. Okay, so this is the filly and mare. It's starting to get dark. Does that do anything? For those who think that this race and then race 9 will be chalky, 50 cents, 6, all. No, I don't like that one so much. I don't like singling the chalks. So in this race here, this is the filly and mare sprint tomorrow. And so you have the 2 speeds, which are Gamine. Let's say scroll over it this way. Gamine and what's this horse? Unique Bella Sophia. Both are like your early speed, right? So Gamine actually has, cause she's furthest left on the plot. Oh, they're talking to Cherie. Hold on.
It's quite exciting. I really wish we had the opportunity to do it before today, but it is what it is.
She seems to have handled everything really well. She warmed up beautifully in Saratoga. She ran well behind Echo Zulu. What does it mean to you coming here, getting a chance to try and turn the tables?
It's a great opportunity. Just being here with the shot is huge, so I'm really thankful for that.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Todd?
Play in England, but we'll see. Like some good nervous energy. All right. Anyways, so Gamine is further left. Go Shireen's right. Furthest left on the plot, which means that Gamine has the quickest first call speed over Bella Sophia, the 6. Okay. So not only does she have first call speed, but she's drawn inside of the 6. And these 2 are your main pace setters, and she knows Gamine, John Velasquez know that the 6 to her outside is the biggest threat. So I think when they break tomorrow, that long shoot in the first turn, Gamine is going to stay in front and keep that 6 as wide as fucking possible throughout this race. I think the 6 could be in trouble. And I think just for that scenario, playing blocker, I think that's what they're going to do with the 5. Because the 3 maybe then comes through the inside and tries to take the lead or whatever. But I think that, if Gamine will go as fast as she needs to go in order to keep that 6 as wide as she possibly can. And then we'll try to outkick her late, which she might. The 6 has also had some moderate paces, so that kind of inflates her plot a little bit. I think the 6 would have a better chance if she was drawn inside a Gamine, but being outside under that scenario, which I think is going to happen, could play out. So the 3 could get the inside trip, and the 4 the stalking trip. I think the 1 and the 2 are a little bit soft. So do you like the 4 then? Yes, I do like the 4. This pains me to say because I don't like Gamine. I'm constantly trying to beat this horse, but I think Gamine has a better shot than the 6 in tomorrow's race. But I think 4 is this race suits her, especially under that scenario, which it doesn't always play out, but whatever. Last year with Cece, once this thing pulls up. Okay, so last year with Cece, so this is starting in February 17th, coming off the layoff. They prepped in the sprint, a race that she won at 6.5 furlongs. And then the rest of the campaign was pretty much those longer distance races to kind of prep for the distaff, right? She's not a distaff type horse. They had to find out that way, which is fine. So then she comes back this year off the layoff, back in April 17th, off the layoff. They come back in a 7 furlong race. Let's try our route, maybe it's just the calendar, whatever. But since that race, she's been running in sprints. And the fact that they run in the sprint, it just goes to the intention, right? Like last year, the intention was to run in the distaff. So that was the campaign, right? To run her in those 2-turn races. This year, the campaign has been running in those extended sprint races. So I think Cece's coming into this race the right way. Maybe she's not good enough, whatever. If he sends, he probably sacrificed himself. He doesn't. Gamine dictates. Yeah, but the thing is, Saez Lulu scenario. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that if Saez tries to send, he just might not be faster than Gamine because she's quicker to the first call than the 6. I mean, keep in mind the 6. Let's remember, this is a 3-year-old. She's a good 3-year-old, but she's still not as mature as an older. So Gamine is quicker to the first call. So even if they try to just pedal to the metal right out of the gate, she just still might not be fast enough to get in front of Gamine. So even if they go on a suicide mission, it might not even matter. And they certainly can't take back. So I mean, it's a tough scenario with the draw. I think there's times that the draw matters with horses. This is one of those times where I think it really could impact the trip for the 6. Because if you're looking at the 6 and the 5 on paper, they look like the 2 horses to beat in this race. In fact, you could sort of make the case the 6 is even a little bit better, but I just think based on that trip, could be a little against it. Played the 4 here. This will be big for the chat. I think the 4 is the biggest threat to the 6. I'm not scared of the 5. I can't even remember who the 5 is. Oh, Juju's map. Yeah, I'm not scared of the 5. I'm not scared of the 3. Am I getting another perfect trip? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that Hidden Connection is flattered off those soft paces. in her races, and if she has to run fast early with the 5 and the 6, I don't think that's a perfect trip for her. If they go slow, I mean, maybe, but I don't think they're going to go slow. Well, she stumbled, too. 5 broke slow. 4 broke great. That's a change. Positive one. Now we've got some decisions. 5, rush up and push that 6. You won't. Go, 5. Get up in there. We're just going to have to see who's good enough here, kids. 6 is out in front. 4, I would not want any other trip in this spot. I mean, I would want the 5 pushing the 6. I would feel a lot better, but under this scenario, I'm glad the 4 is there than like where the 3 is. Five looks good though for Pletcher. Oh, the 6 looks strong. 6 just rebroke. Oh, I think it's game over. Oh, the 5 not breaking. Fuck. Man. I wouldn't have done anything different. The 5 breaking slow, the 2 stumbling, the 5 breaking slow, and the 6 got the easy lead. The 4 did good to, sit that trip, but shit. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Man, she ran really well. No pressure. Yeah, exactly. That opening quarter, too, for this track, like 23 and change, I haven't seen that all week. They rode for second. No pressure. They rode for second. The 5, I think, beat the 4 for second. Man. Exactly. We needed the 5 to get a better start and to push the 6, and the 2 to not fucking stumble, because then that horse is forwardly placed as well. The 4 kind of had to. The 4 had to kind of make a decision early on, like, am I going to push? Am I going to sit back? Maybe if they would have it was worst case scenario, kind of. It was like the best case scenario for the worst case scenario, and then just not good enough. That's the way it goes. She ran well. That's just it. Well, you guys, because that just sunk all my tickets, and I don't have anything clever from here on out. So I'm gonna end. Me too. Yeah. I wouldn't have played it any different. It's just the way it goes. Alive for a little bit of money there to the 4, and then that would have moved everything on, but it's the way it goes. So I'm gonna end chat. Maybe I'll or in the stream. And then maybe I'll jump on tomorrow, just kind of see how it goes. If I'm not like on tomorrow, I don't know. It just depends. It depends on how much work I have to do, how much I get done, because I got to catch up everything that happened today. I got to redo tomorrow. It's fun today. So yeah, thanks for your thoughts. Thank you guys. Yeah, so I'll send it out. Follow. If you haven't already, like, not subscribe. What is it called? Is it subscribe? Yeah, I guess subscribe. Hit that follow or whatever it is. And then that way, when I do go Thank you guys for the follow. That way, if I do go, you'll get the notification. So, and I'll post it on Twitter as well. All right. Good luck if you guys are alive the rest of the way.